Okay, time for lesson 14. So we left you in a little bit of a tough place the last few days, focusing on the meaninglessness sort of this world. And that can be a little bit tough, but I love it because this book doesn't leave us there. It just swoops up and moves us on to a deeper truth that is actually filled with so much hope. And that is lesson 14. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today is, of course, the reason why a meaningless world is impossible. What God did not create does not exist. And everything that does exist exists as he created it. The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making, and it does not exist. Now that's a tough concept, right? And it's in its own right, and we'll get deep into that. Remember, you don't have to understand everything, but I love a basic overview that says, basically 3 options. Either God created this world, and if he did, he isn't a loving God, because this world does not reflect the truth of a loving God. Nothing created us, and we're here by accident, which is not what we're here studying. You can always believe that, but I tried. It didn't work for me. Atheism required the most faith from me and offered the least in return. So the third option then would be that we made this world. And this book is along those lines, that basically we created this reality. And that's a deep truth, but we'll just touch on it briefly and move on. So the world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making, and it does not exist. Because remember, you're a creator. It's been created in God's image as a creator. So you have ability to create. The exercises for today are to be practiced with eyes closed throughout. The mind-searching period should be short, a minute at most. Do not have more than 3 practice periods with today's idea unless you find them comfortable. If you do, it will be because you really understand what they are for. The idea for today is another step in learning to let go the thoughts that you have written on the world and see the Word of God in their place. The early steps in this exchange, which can truly be called salvation, can be quite difficult and even painful. Obviously, looking around at everything you believe is real and your world and saying it's meaningless or doesn't exist can be painful for obvious reasons. I've certainly had many periods of grief and pain over accepting these concepts. I'm not there anymore, but I was. With eyes closed, think of all the horrors in the world that cross your mind. Name each one as it occurs to you and then deny its reality. God did not create it, and so it is not real. Say, for example, God did not create that war, and so it is not real. God did not create that airplane crash, and so it is not real. God did not create that disaster, and specify it, and so it is not real. Suitable subjects for the application of today's idea also include anything you are afraid might happen to you or to anyone about whom you are concerned. In each case, name the disaster quite specifically. Do not use general terms. For example, do not say God did not create illness, but instead say God did not create cancer or heart attacks or whatever may arouse fear in you. This is your personal repertory of horrors at which you are looking. These things are part of the world you see. Some of them are shared illusions, and others are part of your personal hell. It does not matter. What God did not create can only be in your own mind apart from his. Therefore, it has no meaning. In recognition of this fact, conclude the practice periods by repeating today's idea: God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today can, of course, be applied to anything that disturbs you during the day, aside from the practice periods. Be very specific in applying it. Say, God did not create a meaningless world. He did not specify the situation which is disturbing you, and so it is not real. So again, 3 practice periods, a minute each, search your mind, and then just repeat them. So, God did not create politics, and so it is not real. God did not create lung cancer, so it is not real. I just had an uncle die of lung cancer. God did not create abuse, and so it is not real. And so you're just going to go through and take a look at those ideas. And remember, again, this is looking at your personal hell and beginning to address the fact that the things that you experience as torturing you and being hellish do not actually exist. So anyway, have a great day.